Hey guys, welcome to another Teach Yourself Python Lists. This is the 5th video in the Teach Yourself Python List series. If you haven't seen the first 4, I'll put a link to the last one in the description. Go and have a look. Today I'm very excited, first of all because I've got my assistant here, Giuseppe. Buongiorno. Giuseppe's a pig, he thinks he's Italian. Sono italiano. So Giuseppe's here to help me today. And I'm very excited that Giuseppe's here, number one. And number two, I'm very excited because today we have a real task. This is real life programming. The title is Improve Uliana's Adjectives. So who's Uliana? Uliana is a student I'm teaching English to.
Unlike other entrepreneurs, I am risk-averse and not inventive.
She's an advanced level student and she has a very, very big vocab list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, madre de Dio. So what I decided to do is to take out all the adjectives in her list and then to make her use them. I could do this manually. Let's have a look at me doing this manually, taking out the vocabulary. Let's take out the adjectives manually with our hand. Civil adjective here. Wrong adjective. Non-profit adjective. Non posso farlo più. How much more? Yeah, I can't do it anymore either. Let's write a program. But that's a little bit slow. That's the whole idea of programming. You want to write a program that does something a lot more quickly than a human being can do manually. So that's today's lesson. That's the second reason why I'm excited. It's a real life task. We're actually going to help someone, which is wonderful. Hey! Giuseppe can't remember how to say good in Italian. Molto bene! Ah, well done, Giuseppe. Molto bene. Okay, and then we're also going to have a look at a library called NLTK in order to do this. Okay, so let's begin first of all by looking at what steps we'll have to complete in order to have our final list of adjectives. Okay, so step number 1, to help Uliana use these adjectives, we need to import the vocabulary from her list into Python. I'm going to put it in a text document and then import that text document. Step number 2, we're going to use a library called NLTK to convert it to a list. Before we were using the Python programming .split in the 2 brackets to convert it to a list. But NLTK is excellent for working with what's called natural language, NLTK, Natural Language Toolkit. It's very popular. So what is natural language? It's just language, words, as opposed to things like numbers or addresses, things that are just by themselves. Number 3, we're going to use that same library, NLTK, to get adjectives from the list so that we get rid of all the nouns and verbs. And number 4, we're going to take out the easy adjectives from our list because we want her to have and me to have a list that I can look at during the lesson and say, hey, use that one, use that one, use that one. Okay, so beginning with step number 1, import the vocabulary. The vocabulary at the moment is in a Docx file. You can see up the top left of the screen there, Uliana vocab.x. If you want, you can press pause now and go onto Google or a search engine and put in how to import a Docx into Python. I usually copy and paste it into a text file. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to copy and paste it into a text file, call that text file adjectives, and save it in my Python folder. Okay, so there it is. We now have our adjectives text file in the Python folder. On my computer, it's in the Windows program files, Python 36 to 32. The next step is to actually import it into Python. I'm going to do this quickly. So press pause now and put into Google. We can start it together. You can finish the search. Import text file in Python, and I'll say 3. Okay, that should work. Let's try it now with a print. See what happens when we print that file. Okay, so now it's in Python. Step number 1 is done. Okay, so we have that text now in Python, but we want to have a list of individual words, and then we'll take out all the words that are adjectives. Okay, so we've got here, use NLTK to convert to a list. È difficile. No, it's not difficult at all, Mr. Piggy. We just need to use the internet to find out how to do it. Okay, number 1, obviously, the first step, if you don't have NLTK, this is a library. So if you don't have it, you have to download it, okay, and install it, which is, again, you just put it into a search engine. So Python 3 install NLTK. When you look at that, you'll see everywhere you got sudo pip install u NLTK. Okay, but you can do that by yourself. You may need to use the command line. If you're not sure how to do it, go onto YouTube, use the command line. Okay, so we're going to assume that now press pause and download NLTK if you need to. We're going to assume you've got it now. So the next thing we need to do is we've got a text, and so NLTK convert text into, okay, it tells us string. Let's just get going to a list of words, see what happens there. Okay, the first one, interesting enough, is from the actual book itself, nltk.org. So let me show you 1 second. Yeah, this is the online version of the paperback book here. It's got lots and lots of coding in there and stuff like that. I was quite lucky when I was in China. I got it in Chinese. It's quite difficult to read, but it's getting, now that I'm familiar with it, it's a bit easy to read. Okay, so we'll click on that. The thing is it's quite, there's a lot of detail. I think that they expect you to kind of know what you're doing, but you can see here from import NLTK. So we've already got some of our stuff there. Import word tokenize. Okay, what's this word tokenize? We'll see if we can find something that's a little bit easier to understand. Convert a string to a list of words. Okay, here we get sentence tokenize. Part 2, sentence tokenize and word tokenize. So you can see here that there are 2 concepts they're talking about, sentence tokenizing and word tokenizing. What do we want? Sentence and word tokenize. Let's check it out. Okay. Tokenizing into sentences. Okay. Sentence tokenize. What about word tokenize? Anywhere? Oh, here we go. Tokenizing text into words. So let's have a look. From NLTK, import word tokenize, hello world. Hello world, that looks like what we want. So let's have a go. Let's have a go at importing this one here. Okay, you can see that's taking a little while to do because it has to import the library. Then we've got word tokenize hello world. And again, don't forget, always play. So let's take away that. Let's word tokenize something else. Let's word tokenize what these people are writing. You're writing about word tokenizing. We're going to word tokenize it. Oh. Okay, so we need to put in the double one so it works properly. Okay, so we've got a string here. Yeah, ba-bang. So this is wonderful stuff. There we go, we've got a list. What will be interesting is if we've got like split. What was it? Dot split. We had that word. Maybe we can have this text here. So let's just compare it to the text, the one we used before. We'll get this one here. And say our text is equal to this one. Bang. And then we'll go text dot split. And we'll print that. We need to print it in here, I'm not sure. Okay. And that's interesting, isn't it? You can see that actually the comma there actually is the same. The comma is a bit different. Word tokenize is our wrapper function. So this one doesn't. This one's missed the commas. So there you go. There's a good example of where NLTK is good. It gets the punctuation. It's quite good in getting the punctuation. Okay, so that's working. This is brilliant. This means we can do get a nice print final. If we get a nice list of individual words. So again, it's taking a little bit of time to get the library in there. Bang! Wonderful stuff. Excellent. So you can see, no you can't, because it's not on your screen. Down the bottom, up the top. It's taking quite a while to word tokenize all of that stuff. So I'll just kill it. But you can see there we've got a nice list of individual words. Okay, that's good. So that is the second step done. Before we go on to the third step, I just want to point out something that's really, really interesting. You can see it says text mining. That's when you go onto the internet, you go through lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of text to get stuff. If we come down a bit, we can see here corpus linguistics. So working with big bodies of text. This is what NLTK can be used for. Text data processing. It's used, and in fact, NLTK, I'll just put it in the search engine here. You know, if you go into the machine learning field, machine learning, NLTK is used in machine learning as well. So it's really connected, like with YouTube. YouTube would use that, possibly, I don't know as a fact, but to search through texts, to find out what the name of your video is, who's going to want to watch it based on the words they write into the search engine. So it's big. It's very popular, at least at the moment. NLTK, used with Python, data science, machine learning, quite popular. Okay, let's go on to step 3. Okay, so far so good. The next step, number 3 here, we're going to use NLTK again to get the adjectives from the list. So at the moment we have our list of individual words, but we've got the nouns and the verbs. We want to get only the adjectives out there. Okay. So let's get on a search engine and start looking for this stuff. I'm going to give you a little clue. If you use things like get from a list, it's going to take a little bit longer to find the answer. Have the words that they like to use. And they like to use, because you're looking at data, they like to use extract. So extract, it just means take out. You can extract a tooth, take out a tooth. So we're going to go to NLTK, and we're going to extract adjectives from a list of words. And we're going to extract those adjectives. How to list all the forms. Okay, not that useful. Next one, how to extract noun adjective pairs. Extracting all nouns. Okay, it'll be interesting to see which one's easier. Okay, good. We've got the word tokenize. What's the solution here? Might zoom in a bit to make it bigger. Import spacey. No, we don't want spacey for this. Okay, that's okay. We'll come back and then click on this one. Import NLTK. Let's come down. Text blob. Okay, that's another library. Great. Text blob's another processing library. Yeah, this is looking very good. You can see lines is some string of words. And we come down here and we've got lines is some string of verbs. So lambda.pause to noun. Woo. So we've got lines here. Well, they're word tokenizing it again. And then if is noun pause. Okay. So this looks pretty difficult, but let's see if we can do it. Then we're going to do this is noun. So obviously that's looking for it if it's a noun. That means it is a noun. Lambda, pause to ne. Okay. Now that's looking for nouns. We want to look for adjectives. So let's come back here. Just go NLTK adjectives code. Categorizing and tagging words. Yeah, this is called tagging. So what have we got? CCRB, different, that's an adjective. JJ. Okay, so we've got JJ. Get rid of that and put in JJ. Okay, and now we're going to change is noun. I'll leave it there for now, so we're copying and pasting. Let's come back to this one here. Tokenized, we've done the word tokenized. Okay, nouns is equal to, so we're going to change it to adjectives. We want nouns. Adjectives is word for word pause. Okay, so we have pause, that's okay. Word is word for word in NLTK pause tag tokenized. Okay, so what was that? What was there? There one there. Tokenized. No, that was is that the answer? Yep. Is NLTK word line. So they've tokenized. Where's tokenized here? Ah, okay, that's a new function, pos tag. Okay, so we can guess from that tag, we saw here before, that this is called the tag. So this is the word now, and this is obviously its tag. So the tag for adjectives is JJ. The tag for something is NN. So we need that tag, and we're going to put it in final, not tokenized. If is noun pos. Okay. Now I'm just going to change is noun to adjective. Adjective. That one there. And then I'm going to change this one here to is adjective. Okay. So let's take a look. That's adjectives. Okay. So hopefully that'll work. So print adjectives like that. Okay. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Civil, adjective wrong, adjective hard, different. All right. And look at that. We've got our adjectives. Wonderful stuff. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Okay, now that looks really easy. Like I got on the internet and I found it quickly. This is the third time I'm doing this part of the video. It's the third time. I've actually spent about 1.5 hours already scanning the internet. It took me a long time, and I actually this is the first time I've seen this solution. What solution, you say? This one here, like this lambda pos 2 JJ. Yeah. The solutions I found before were a little bit difficult and more complicated. I might, at the end of the video, put a sped up version of me doing those ones. So it took me, this one here that you're watching right now is the third attempt. And it took me the least amount of time, and it seems to be the cleanest, the easiest solution I found. The other ones took a long time and they were more difficult. And why? It all comes down to the fact that I use that nice word, NLTK extract. Once I got, like, let's put in nouns there. Once I got the extracting all nouns from a text file, bang. Extracting nouns and verbs. How to extract nouns using NLTK. How to extract nouns. So you get a lot of precise ones there. If I say get nouns, it does give me extract, actually. That's quite lucky. I don't know what, or maybe if I put in get adjectives. People want nouns, not adjectives. Yeah, so you can see here, this is just general, categorizing and tagging, synsets. That's already looking difficult. It's all. So interesting enough, let's see if it extract was the key words. NLT extract adjectives. Extracting most, extracting most, extracting most. Yeah, so funnily enough, adjectives wasn't useful. But that's another thing. If you don't find the solution for adjectives, well, what's the difference? Extracting a noun, extracting an adjective, extracting a verb. Okay, so there we have our list of adjectives. Let's look at the next step. Okay, so this is the last step. Step number 4 here. It's take out the easy adjectives. What we want is, if we look at a list as it is, her vocabulary list is just enormous. And so her adjective list is also enormous. So like, I don't know how many here. Too many. So what we want to do is we want to get rid of the ones that are not as useful, maybe not as difficult. Her level, she's an advanced student, so we want to be making her use the more difficult ones. For example, wrong, that's quite easy. Different, that's quite easy. Sexual's quite easy. Overall, quite easy. But certainly ones like adverse, incompatible, idle, outlandish. These are nice, difficult adjectives we want her to use and use and use. Okay, so we can do this, again, we can do this manually. I can look through and copy and paste. It probably wouldn't take too much time. Given my level of programming skills, it might be quicker. Might be quicker to do this part manually. But we're going to try and think about how we can do this. So generally speaking, if a word is common, if you see the word a lot, it's easier. If you don't see it very often, it's more difficult. So one thing we can do now is we can get a list of common adjectives or common words, and we can take out, for example, we have a word here, child. Obviously that can be an adjective, it's a noun. It can be an adjective, that's why it's on the list, like child support. Child is an adjective. But if we just get a list of the most common words in English, then we can take it out. We can take out those common words. So as usual, as always, get on the internet and put in most common English words. Now, top 100 words, we don't want that. 3,000, that looks pretty interesting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go into this. So here, and just have a look. Like let's say, for example, let's just check that. What do we want? What do we want? Like I said, we want some of these different, like detrimental. We want detrimental. So if detrimental is on this list, it's not going to be good. No detrimental. See, I tried to find it. If, for example, I take child, bang, there's child there. Okay, so what I want to do is write a program that goes through every word. It goes through character, and it says, okay, let's look at character. Is it in this list here? If it's in this list, take it out. Let me do this one here. Character. Nope, it's not on the list. Okay, and then it's going to go through and go on to the next one, characteristic. If it's on the list, it will take it out. Okay, so if we get something like same, yeah, there it is. Okay, same, is it on this list? Bang, here it is. Bang, let's take it out. Okay, so I'm going to put this in speed mode. If you want, you can skip past this bit. I recommend actually press pause and then try and get this list into Python yourself. Okay, I'm just going to call this most 3,000. I'll call it 3,000. No, I'll call it most common. Most common. There we go. So again, I'm going to put that in my Python folder. Okay, there it is, most common. Okay, we need to import it into our program now. Okay, but we want it to be a string as well. So I suppose we'll just go list format. Right, wonderful stuff. Okay, now we have it in list format. So we have two lists. We have our most common list and we have our Uliana adjectives list. What we want to do is remove words in one list that are in the other list. So let's go to a search engine, have a look at that. Okay, again, talking about the language they like to use. Remove all the elements. They like that language, elements. So this is looking pretty promising. L3 for X, if not an L2. Okay, so what have they got here? They've got two lists. L1, 1, 2, 6, 8. L2, 2, 3, 5, 8. So they want to have 1 and 6. I see. So 2 is in L2, but it's not here. Okay, perfect. It's exactly what we want. Okay, so this solution should work. So list 3 is x for x in L1, if not in L2. Okay. Well, so what are we starting with? Is our adjective list going to be L1? Okay, in L1. Yeah, I think so. I think we can put adjectives. In adjectives, if that word x is not in the most common final list. Okay, so again, it's going to look at our adjectives that we did before, and then go into this list here, have a look if it's on there. If it is, take it out. Okay, so that leaves us with L3. So, print L3. Let's see what happens. Oh, wow. High-low, because it's together. Competent, convinced, detrimental, harassment, executive. Okay, so we now have another problem here. We've definitely got less common ones. For example, in our previous list, we had there, if we print the previous list, and then we'll print L3 and compare the two. Okay. So this one had civil, wrong, hard. If we come down and we have a look at the next one, competent, convinced, it doesn't have those easier ones. Okay, let's look at the homework. The tasks, 2 tasks, 1 and 2. 1A is to clean the data. What do I mean by that? If we look back at our list of adjectives, we can see that, for example, here, there's just some quotation marks. Here there are 2 L's. Here there's just an S. So it's a little bit messy. It has these things that shouldn't be there. Cleaning it is taking away those messy things that we don't want. There are some other things like spelling mistakes. That's a little bit more difficult. What I want you to do when you clean this, I want you to take out things like punctuation marks like that one there. I've got a couple here like the exclamation marks, the double L, the S by itself. I want you to take out these, and then after you've done that, when your document is relatively clean, or at least cleaner, I want you to export that from Python into a document. I mean, at the moment, I've just got a list here, and what happens? I've never actually tried this. If I copy and paste it here, oh, there we go. Okay, but what I want you to do is I want you to export it into a document, so it's just in a table form. So it's easy for the student to look at and for me to look at. And that will finish the section connected with Uliana's adjectives. And then the second part of the homework is to use text blob. NLTK is not it's not the only Python library to process language. There are other libraries as well. Let's have a quick look at a website here. So this website is called Elite Data Science, and here they have a page on what they believe to be the 5 heroic Python NLP libraries, NLP natural language processing. So we already looked at number 1, which they've got here. They call it, just zoom in a bit, they call it the Conqueror NLTK. So in their opinion, NLTK is number 1. You've already had a little go with that. Number 2 is text blob. Okay, so text blob is just another library. If we chuck it into a search engine there, text blob, you can see that they've got their own page. You can read up information, and again here you've got, let me just get in, again you can use pip install text blob to put it onto computer. So I want you to use text blob for this task here, not NLTK, and I want you to extract and export the adverbs from the list. So in this video we looked at taking out the adjectives, but in this one I want you to extract the adverbs, and don't use NLTK, I want you to use text blob. Okay, so this means that after watching this video, experimenting with this video, and doing the home tasks, This means that you've already started to look at, two of the biggest natural language processing libraries in Python.
Ciao amici!